We'll go live. Good evening, everybody. I think we're live now, so thumbs up to everybody. Oh, you'll notice my thumb this hand. I tried cutting my thumb off yesterday when I was peeling some onions. Silly boy, or chopping some onions, to be quite honest, but never mind. Anyway, let's see who we've got live tonight. Who's going to start off with a bit of chat for us anyway? It's been an awful day outside. Weather's been disgusting. Been lashing it down from early morning till later on, but never mind. Right, Jed and Tracy have just joined us. Good evening, Jed. Good evening, Tracy. Hope all is well with you too, and you're keeping well. As we get close towards Christmas, I don't know what everybody's got planned, but it's going to be quite an interesting Christmas. We might be able to see a few of our friends and whatever, but not everybody by the looks of things. But yes, good evening to you. Good evening, Faye. Hope all is well. The boobies have just joined us, so I trust we've got one half of the booby prize, girls, but let's hope till the rocks up soon. Oh, Jed was just saying it's been horrible in Burton today. I'm sure it has. Oh, Mick and Bev have just joined us. Good evening, Mick. Hope all is well with you. And thank you very much, by the way, for the book that you got me. I trust it was from you, Tales of the Night Sky. That does mean, of course, everybody's going to have to put up with ramblings about Orion's belt or Cassiopeia or whatever else, but Tales of the Night Sky. I bought a telescope for my grandkids for Christmas, so we'll see what they make of that. It's something I was always fascinated with, but whether they'll be fascinated with it might it might prove to backfire on me, but we'll see. Right, Georgia's just joined us, so Georgie and Rory are joining us from sunny York. I hope it's been a bit better weather up there. I don't suppose it has, but it might be. What's the weather been like in York, Georgia? I hope it's been okay. There was this silly joke I was just going to put on there. I saw this bloke chatting up a cheater, and I thought he's trying to pull a fast one. Oh dear, never mind. Yes, that's a dreadful standard to start this evening's jokes, but never mind. Everybody will be pleased to know that after last Sunday's, of course, was our quiz evening, and we managed to raise in excess of £1,850 in the end. And we've had a big thank you letter, not that I've seen it yet, but we have had a thank you letter from the hospices to thank us for all your support. So I better pass that on to every single one of you that donated, whatever amount it was. Thank you so much for all your help. As I say, we managed to raise a fantastic amount. And I'm sure that money will be used very wisely. So George has put the weather's been absolutely dreadful here all day. So basically, does that mean the weather everywhere has been awful today? It probably has in the UK, but never mind. We might. At least it's been a little warmer, if anything, but because it was dreadfully cold earlier this week, wasn't it? But never mind. Right, tonight, as usual, we will have 6 rounds of just general knowledge. To keep you all going, we start off tonight. Our first round will be entitled Sunday the 13th. As usual, we use the first letters and or numbers of the word Sunday, 1, 3, and the TH, Sunday the 13th. Chris and Mary have just joined us. So good evening, Chris and Mary. Now, you've put Chris and Mary St Ives. Does that mean you come from St Ives, or are you just Chris and Mary St Ives? That'd be interesting to know, but do let me know. So it's great to see you, and I will explain the quiz as we go. If you've not done it before, obviously you may have joined in last week's quiz, so great to see you anyway. Martin's just joined us, Martin and Tina. Good evening from Martin and Tina in slightly moist Dunchurch. Yes, it's been slightly moist everywhere, hasn't it? Jackie's just joined us, so good evening to Jackie. Hope all is well with you. Lisa's just joined us. Lisa Lasky, afternoon. Everyone from California. Finally raining here, she's put. Oh, well, it's raining everywhere in that case. It's been pouring it down here all day, Lisa. But so you're not alone. So it's actually raining in sunny California for a change, but never mind. I bet it's a bit warmer than it is here, though. We struggled to get above about 7 degrees today, so I think that was about what we got. Mike Yates has just joined us. Good evening, Mike. Hope all is well with you. Ah, yes, Chris and Mary have said, yes, we live in St Ives, old friends of Andy, etc. I know the wife keeps telling me things, but it's very difficult until I get to know people and whatever else. But it's great to see you. I hope you'll enjoy tonight's quiz, and we'll see how you go. Andrew's just joined us, so good evening, Andrew and Jane from sunny Yelvertoft, or not so sunny Yelvertoft, and Pick and Mix have joined us as well. Good evening, Pick and Mix. I hope you're all keeping well and managing to Managing to do all right during these lockdown times. The fact that we can't meet in the pub at all, it's such a shame, but there you go. 2 pubs are still locked down, and they probably look like they're going to be locked down for Christmas now, after all, because even if we come into tier 2, I think we're going to struggle to be opening, to be fair. So we will see. Lydia's just saying good evening to you all. My daughter is sat over there with her laptop. She's checked through the quiz tonight to make sure I haven't made the usual mistakes, but hopefully, what's that? Oh, yes, and just a quick happy birthday to Lydia, because it was her birthday yesterday, and we went out and actually had a meal last night for the first time for a long, long time. So, fantastic time. I'm not supposed to say that, apparently, so I'll keep quiet for everybody that... But never mind. What's this? Bush game today, but we could not work out how to play it. I looked at the instructions. They said, "You know the rules, so." What's that, Jackie? Trying to get my head around what Jackie just said, but never mind. Clive and Janet from Stockton are saying, good evening, all from up north. So good evening from sunny Stockton. I expect it's been raining in York. It's definitely been raining in Stockton all day long. Penny's just joined us. Penny Graham from sunny Essex, Holland-on-Sea in Essex. A fine place by any standards. And Ian and Julian joined us. Harry, Julian, Ian, and his bottle of Shiraz as usual. I'm sure they'll polish that off in the afternoon. Lisa's just saying it's about 10 to 12 degrees, so chilly but not too cold. We're grateful for the rain as we're desperate for water. Well, that's fair enough. And Robin's just joined us. Has Lydia checked to make sure you've not got your American sports mixed up again? No, she hasn't checked all the questions, unfortunately, but never mind. It's nothing like testing you, Robin, just to make sure you know your Fenway Park from your whatever park. You know what it's like. Sarah's just joined us. Good evening, Sarah, Russ, James, Joe, if you're all watching tonight. It's great to see you all. And so Worcester are now online. Ian Anthony Jones has joined us with Don Quizzotti signing in from Rugby, Lower Hillmorton and the southeast of England. So good evening to Don Quizzotti and the team. And Michelle's also joined us from Crick. So good evening to Michelle, Charlie, James. Hope you've had a decent weekend and raring to do another of Nick's silly quizzes on a Sunday night. We don't, what's that? Why don't we ever see elephants hiding in trees, says Ian. I don't know, Ian. Why don't we ever see elephants hiding in trees? Andrew's just joined us. Good evening, Andrew. Hope all is well with you. Andrew and Heather. Well, it's great to see you back and doing the quiz again. It's all down here from here, Andrew. But never mind. Just enjoy and sit back and get your pens and papers ready, your beer at hand, and your nibbles ready to go. Clive and Janet, happy birthday for yesterday, says Robin to Lydia. I ought to sing happy birthday, I suppose. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, my dear Lydia. Happy birthday to you. There you are. That's all the singing for tonight, Robin. You're all right out the way now. And Clive and Janet from Stockton have said it's been an horrible day up there. Well, that's fair enough. And Jill Pugh's just joined us. She said, hello from Middletoft. Hello, Steve and Jill. Hope all is well with you two. You're keeping well. Chris has just joined us. Good evening, Chris. And Chris Speak has also joined us. So good evening, Chris Speak and the gang. Evening, Nick. Hope you're all well. We are. Thank you very much. And tonight, I am on the dark stuff. I actually have a little container full of beer tonight. It's not quite sure what it is, actually. What is it called? Hook Norton 12 Days of Fine Ale by any standards. Oh, wait a minute. Now we've got the rest of Ian's joke. I think you need to put it on the end of the chat, Ian. Why don't we ever see elephants hiding in trees? Because they are very good at it. Oh dear, that's dreadful. Hope Alone 6 have just joined us. Good evening, Carol and the gang. Hope all is well with you all. And raring to do battle tonight, Graham Gifford and Jane have just joined us from Uppertoft. So we've now got Middletoft and Uppertoft have joined us. Robin's just going, no, to my dreadful singing. But never mind. Tweenies have just joined us. The 20s, sorry. The only AJB, the 20s. Matthew Blood saying, PRS signing out due to that awful singing. Thanks, Matthew. Joke stolen from Peter Ellis, but I still find it funny. I watched an older episode of Countdown today. Boy, I have to confess, I might have had a thing for Carol Vorderman. Dear God. Yes, quite. Matthew Blood, I have, what's that? Whatever I ordered from Keith. Ah, right, excellent. What did you order from Keith then, Matthew? Was it dark like this one? Well, in which case, it's probably what I've got as well. Whose? Oh, it's Ian Wilson's birthday. Has Ian actually put anything in the chat then? Because nobody will know who. Ian's part of the Split the Difference team, Ian Wilson. So good evening to Ian. Happy birthday to you. I won't ask you how many revolutions of the Earth around the sun it is, but oh, it's the same as me, is it? Oh, that's very old then. Oh my goodness, you must be feeling your age then, Ian. Oh well, let's see how well we get on tonight. Dark beer, very nice too, says Matthew. Squeaky Bob have just joined us, so hello to Neil and Tracy. I hope all is well with you and you're keeping well. Right, we have 60 people logged on. Let me just let you know what the rounds are tonight. We start off, first round tonight is entitled Sunday the 13th, which is pretty straightforward. Round number 2 tonight is a very straightforward art and literature round, a little bit highbrow, but art literature round. Round number 3 is a connections round where I ask 9 general knowledge questions, and question number 10 asks for a connection between the previous 9 answers. Round number 4 is a chain letters round, which is exactly the same as a trivia trial, except instead of just using the last letter, you can use either the last letter, the last 2 letters, or the last 3 letters, and they become the first letter, the first 2, or the first 3 of the next answer. So you get the idea as we go along. Round number 5 tonight is entitled Geography, pretty straightforward geography round. And finally, we have just general trivia, some tricky general trivia questions tonight without too much multiple choice, thankfully, my wife will be saying. So let's see who else has joined us. So we've got Nick Bowers has just joined us. Hello from the Bedford Clangers. So good evening, the Bedford Clangers. Hope you're all well. You'll have to let me know how many you've got in your team, Nick, so I can say hello to all of them. Sign them in one by one and let me know what the team members are. And good evening to the Rotary Club of Rugby. Good evening, Kevin. Hope all is well with you and the gang. And raring to do battle tonight. As always, you should be there or thereabouts. Anne Anderson has just joined us. So Anne and Dave have joined us from sunny Essex, as have the Ridgeways have just joined us. So good evening, Anthony, Paul and Trish. Hope all is well with you. Graham said hello to the Clangers. And he said hello, Jim. They obviously know each other quite well. But never mind. Right, keep the chat going, as we say. Paula Lewis has just joined us. Quiz Your Rascals here. Paula, Val, and how do I say that? Cess, as in Cecil, I suppose. Good evening, Paula. Now, do remember, I've got a modest prize for you, Paula, and the gang to pick up from last week's quiz. You obviously were winners of a little hamper. It's got some beer in it, needs collecting from my house. So do just contact me and we can either arrange to drop it off, or if you live our way, you can come and pick it up without any problem at all. What's this? Chris saying, do you have the full extended family, Anthony? Half of rugby. Yes, it could be. Clive and Janet from Stockton. Why don't retirees clear out their attic, sheds, etc.? Because their kids fill them with their stuff. Well, that's true. Very true indeed. Just 2 of us, says Nick. Nick and boss Rita. What about other team members? Latham House Lockdown have also joined us. So good evening to the Latham House Lockdown. All right, dude. We're keeping all right. Excellent. George Priestley's also just giving me a hey, Nick. So a big wave to George, as always. He always puts a nice emoji on a waving hand. Anthony Ridgway, no, just the 3 of us, as ever, he's saying to Chris. Hilary Farland's just joined us. So evening from Dexter's Quiz Night Runners with Steve Hills and Dexter. Dexter the dog, I expect it's been a bit mucky and messy for the dog today, hasn't it? I'll bet I wouldn't like to have been bathing the dog tonight, but never mind. Unless you didn't let him out today because of the weather. But we'll see. Matthew's saying, PRS, Robin, Claire and Matthew. 9-year-old Barney chipping in now and then. Excellent. He's never 9 years old, is he really? 9 years old now. My God, I can't believe that, actually. Oh, blimey, 9 years old. They grow so fast, don't they? Oh, well, excellent if he's chipping in, because there's going to be some questions he'll know. Or some answers he'll know, that's for sure. Right. A few seconds to go, then we'll get going with the quiz. At the moment, we've got 68 people. Teams are logged in, raring to go. Leslie Barrett's just joined us. Good evening, Leslie. Hope all is well with you. Right, let's just run through those round quickly again. We start off Sunday the 13th, followed by an art and literature round, a connections round, chain letters round, a geography round, and then a general trivia round. A general trivia round to keep you all going. As you can see, I haven't got my Christmas shirt, and I thought I would wait until next week and then I'll get the full Monty out And I'll put my Christmas hat on as well, just to keep you going. Right then, let us get going. It is 2015. It is time for us to get going with tonight's quiz. So if I just get it up on my screen. Remember, the first answer has got to start with the letter S as we go through. S-U-N-D-A-Y. Write those down top to bottom on a piece of paper. Do remember, if you like tonight's quiz, do give me the thumbs up in the likes column. More likes I get, the higher we get up in the rankings, which has got to be good. Right then, question number 1. Listen carefully, starting with the letter S, which hopefully gives you a big clue. Growing up to 6 feet long, the tasseled wobbegong is a species of what marine animal? So question number 1, growing up to 6 feet long, the tasseled wobbegong is a species of what marine animal? And it does look a strange animal, I have to say. You wouldn't want to come across one of them. Well, maybe you would actually, I suppose. Now that starts with the letter S. Question number 2, starting with the letter U, U for Undertaker, for instance. What was a 1954 radio drama written by Welsh poet Dylan Thomas and commissioned by the BBC? It was later adapted for stage and film. Shrimp. It could be a shrimp. So question 2 again. What was a 1954 radio drama written by Welsh poet Thomas Dylan Thomas even, and commissioned by BBC? It was later adapted for the stage and film. I think there have been 2 film versions. And sticking on the theme of films, question number 3, starting with the letter N. Also the name of a London Underground station. What is a 1999 romantic comedy film starring Julia Roberts, Hugh Grant, and Rhys Evans, amongst others? Or Rhys, isn't it? Rhys Evans, amongst others. It's Rhys, isn't it? Yeah, I know, bloody well. I mean Welsh, yes. Enough of that Welsh business. I was trying to stay in Welsh, you see. So question 3 again. Also the name of a London Underground station. What is a 1999 romantic film comedy starring Julia Roberts, Hugh Grant, and Rhys Evans, amongst others? I really should practice my my pronunciation of everything. Never mind. Too busy writing the damn thing, let alone pronouncing it all. But never mind. Now, question number 4 was specifically for one of our quizzes, but I haven't seen her log in tonight, so maybe just when we needed her. But never mind. Question number 4: the district of Whitechurch can be found in the southern section of which European city? So question number 4, the district of Whitechurch can be found in the southern section of which European city? Don't think too hard, stick the first one down, you won't be far wrong. Question number 5, aimed at our younger audience, I think. So the Yorkers will be all right with this one. Question number 5, starting with the letter A, it's a 2-word answer I'm after. Released on October the 30th, 2020, Positions is the 6th studio album by which American singer? So question 5 again, released on the 30th of October 2020, Positions is the 6th studio album by which American singer? I bet Roy Joe will get that straight away. The Yorkies will get that one. Wonder whether our Rotarians will be up with that one. I'll see. And my brother Steve, he might struggle with that one. Question number 6. What name was derived from an ancient Germanic pagan festival that was eventually replaced by Christmastide around the 10th century? It's just a 1-word answer I'm after. starting with the letter Y, which makes it pretty straightforward, I think. So what name was derived from an ancient Germanic pagan festival that was eventually replaced by Christmastide about the 10th century? The one-word answer. I'm sure you'll all get that one, he says knowingly. Where's my screen gone? Right. Question number 7. This has got to start with the number 1. Start with the number 1. It's a 4-digit answer I'm after. Well, not really, but here we go. In what decade of the 20th century were traffic lights first introduced in the United Kingdom? I actually need the year in, not the decade. It's going to start with a 1, so it's got to start with 19, I suppose, hasn't it? So question 7 again. In what decade of the 20th century were traffic lights first introduced in the United Kingdom? That answer's got to start with 19, just to help you. Not that it really helps at all, but never mind. So how do you know your traffic lights? Question number 8. This is an interesting one. How would 17.5 pence have been written on price tickets in old UK currency before decimalisation? In other words, what was 17.5 pence? So how would 17.5 pence have been written on price tickets in old UK currency before decimalisation? Not the easiest question to word that, but I think you'll get the idea of what I'm on about. Let's hope you do anyway. That's got to start, surprisingly, with a 3. Question number 9 is an old proverb. According to the Old English proverb, which first appeared about 1395 in Chaucer's prologue to the Clerk's Tale, what waits for no man? So starting with the letter, what are we on? T, this is, of course. So according to the Old English proverb, which first appeared about 1395 in Chaucer's prologue to the Clerk's Tale, what waits for no man? And finally, put you out of misery in this first round. A few tricky ones in there, but nothing particularly testing, I'm sure. Known for a fortification marking the northern limit of Britannia, who was Roman emperor from 117 to 138 AD. So known for a fortification marking the northern limit of Britannia, who was Roman emperor from 117 to 138 AD. And that is just a one-word answer I'm after. So there we have it. That's our first round. Now, if you look at all your answers, they should spell out the word Sunday, followed by something starting with a 1 and then a 3 and then a TH if you're lucky. Well, you can't say that wasn't just a general mix of rubbish, can you? Or the wife saying it was difficult. What's that? Right then, let me get through some answers quickly. In the meantime, if anybody wants to put anything in the chat column, any silly jokes we've got tonight, you're more than welcome to stick them down. Right, here we go then. Question number 1, growing up to 6 feet long, the tasseled Wobbegong is a species of shark. I did have that some time back, as I recall, but in a different manner. Question number 2, that drama that was written by the Welsh poet Dylan Thomas was Under Milk Wood, of course. Number 3, the name of that film was Notting Hill. I know the name of the underground station is actually Notting Hill Gate, but Notting Hill will do, that's all I'm after. Question number 4, the district White Church can be found in Dublin. It's in the southern section of Dublin. Number 5, the 6th studio album called Positions is the 6th studio album of Ariana Grande. Ariana Grande, well done if you got that. Number 6, that pagan festival was called Yule, as in Yuletide. Number 7, traffic lights were first introduced in the 1920s. The 1920s in the United Kingdom, 1930s in Ireland, surprisingly. Number 8, Howard, 17.5 pence have been written on old price tickets. Well, it was 3 shillings and sixpence, or 3 over 6, or 3 and 6. That was what I was after. Shilling was 5p, of course, so 3 5s, that's 3 shillings, and half a shilling is sixpence, so 3 shillings and sixpence. Well done if you work that out. Number 9 was Time and Tide. Waits for no man. Time and Tide. And finally, number 10, of course, it was Hadrian, who was Roman Emperor, and he built that wall, that fortification, which marked the northern limit of Britannia. Hadrian's Wall, for all those that have walked it, or whatever else. Right then, everybody, let's have some scores in, see how we've all done. That was, remember, only 10 questions there, so anybody that's up in the 9s is doing very well. We've got Squeaky Bob straight off with a 9, well done them. Chris Peake with a 9, we've got Latham Louds locked down with an 8, we've got Sarah, Russ, Joe and James on 8.5, we've got Squeaky Bob again on another 9, we've got the famous 5 and 8, thank goodness Tina keeps up with new music. Well done, Martin, with an 8. Clive and Janet from Stockton with a 10. Famous Story with 9. We've got Nick Roberts with a 9. Graham Giffords with a 9. We've got Chris and Mary with an 8. We've got Jill Pugh with a 9. We've got Georgia Lambert and Yorkers with a 7. I hope you got the Ariana Grande one. Nick Bowers with a 9. We've got Anthony Ridgway with an 8. Julie Ian and his bottle of Shiraz on a 9. Sorry, with Harry as well. We've got Home Alone 6 on 9. We've got Andrew Lewis on 9. Penny Graham's on 7. We've got Pick a Mix on 8. Paula Lewis on 10. Jed and Tracy on 10 with a few guesses. Well guessed. Matthew Blood and PRS on a 10. Well done. And Don Quixote with a 9.5. Steve Findens on 9. Split the Difference on 8.5. We've got Team UK USA on 9. Alex Brown, 8.5. Gave ourselves a half for time. Michelle Gibbons is on 10. Andrew with a steady 7. Well done, Andrew. And Anne Anderson on a fantastic 8. So well played them. Right, any more scores to come in? Yes, I'll give you a half a time if you just put time waits for no man. Time and Tide it was, but never mind, half a mite for that. The only AJB, the 20 is on a fantastic 9. Good start there. Right then. Yeah, Roy saying he hates the R's. Oh, Roy does. Never mind, Roy. Have another beer. That's the answer. Right. I only take beer to obviously make the throat a little bit better while I'm talking all the time. And obviously to help me with my pronunciation. Right, round number 2 is a very tricky art and literature round. All the Rugby Rotary Club have come in with an 8 and Mike Yates with a 9. Right, everybody, art and literature. Listen carefully because there's some clues in this first one. Published in 1971, so quite a while ago, How to Cheat at Cooking was the first book by which celebrity chef who had previously appeared on the programme Multicoloured Swap Shop, giving basic cooking demonstrations to children. And I'm after a female. So published in 1971, How to Cheat at Cooking was the first book by which celebrity chef who had previously appeared on the programme Multicoloured Swap Shop, giving basic cooking demonstrations to children. And it's a female I'm after, just to make that a bit easier for you. Cuts out half the possibilities, doesn't it? Well, apparently there's more women in the world now than there are men. Right, question number 2. Listen carefully. After venturing into the forests of the Catskill Mountains, Rip Van Winkle falls asleep for how many years after accidentally drinking a magic potion? I will give you the choice in this one. Was it 15 years, 20 years, or 25 years? So question 2 again. After venturing into the forests of the Catskill Mountains, Rip Van Winkle falls asleep for how many years after accidentally drinking a magic potion? Apparently he wakes up afterwards and finds the war's finished. so he's conveniently missed all the war years. Dear God. Question number 3, just need a country. George Orwell, William Thackeray, and Rudyard Kipling were all born in which Commonwealth country? So question 3 again. George Orwell, William Thackeray, and Rudyard Kipling were all born in which Commonwealth country? I'm sure we'll know that one. Question number 4. It was interesting because after I'd written this question, I'd never really heard it before. It came up on a telly the other day and thought, that's a bit peculiar. I'd seen that. I'd only just written a question about it. So question 4, submitted to the first annual exhibition of the Society of Independent Artists in 1917, but be rejected by the show's committee. Marcel Duchamp's famous artwork called Fountain consisted solely of what item? Of course, it helps if you know what it is, obviously. So submitted to the first annual exhibition of the Society of Independent Artists in 1917, but rejected by the show's committee, Marcel Duchamp's famous artwork called Fountain consisted solely of what item? Bit of a tricky one, that. That's where a good team comes in. Somebody will know it. Question number 5. This is a tricky one. Which British newspaper, the United Kingdom's highest circulation print paper, has the sentence, "the world's most popular free newspaper," printed underneath its name on its front page? So question 5 again. Which British newspaper, the United Kingdom's highest circulation print paper, has the sentence, "the world's most popular free newspaper," printed underneath its name on its front page? It's a one word. Well, no, it's not. I'm sure you'll have all heard of it. Whether you can figure out what it is or not, it's a different matter, but never mind. Well, what else have everybody been? Has everybody been up to something exciting this week? It's a bit awkward when we're locked down in tier 3. It seems like endlessly staying at home, but never mind. I wouldn't mind so much if the weather was a bit better. We could get out on a bike or something, but it's been absolutely atrocious this last few days, isn't it? Right then, question number 6. Which French Impressionist artist was born 1834 and was famous for his pastel drawings and oil paintings, over half of which depicted ballet dancers? I'm sure you've all seen them. So which French Impressionist artist born in 1834 was famous for his pastel drawings and oil paintings, over half of which depicted ballet dancers? That's a tricky question as well. I'm sorry this round's a bit tricky, but never mind. Gets easier, I'm sure. Not the rugby advertiser. Was that the free newspaper? No, I don't think it's the rugby advertiser, but you're on the right lines. Mind you, they charge for that, don't they? They charge for the rugby advertiser. And Do I charge? Yeah, I don't think that is a free paper. Isn't the review a free paper? Yeah, I think it's the Rugby Review, it's the free paper. Oh, it's the Observer that's the free paper, sorry. Right then, question number 7, listen carefully. The largest of the toothed whales and also the largest toothed predator. What species of whale is the title character in the 1851 novel Moby Dick? That's right, it's the Observer, isn't it, Chris? So the largest of the toothed whales and also the largest toothed predator. What species of whale is the title character in the 1851 novel Moby Dick? Been away too long. Question number 8. Published in 2020, A Dell of a Life is the third autobiography of which famous actor? You need to see that written down because it gives it away a bit. So published in 2020, A Dell of a Life is the third autobiography of which famous actor? I don't know how you can write 3 autobiographies, but there you go. I wonder who holds the record for writing the most autobiographies. That'd be a good quiz question. Oh, it's great to see so many people logged on tonight. We've got 77 people currently logged on, watching another exciting, or less exciting, Sunday night quiz. Something to know on a Sunday night, isn't it? I just watched the Grand Prix, but I won't tell everybody what the result was because I'm sure, mind you, no, they'll have already watched it. So it was the most boring race I've seen this year. But never mind. I wish I hadn't bothered really, but there we have it. Question number 9. Which 1678 novel by John Bunyan is claimed by many to be the first novel written in English? Surely you all have heard of this one. So which 1678 novel by John Bunyan is claimed by many to be the first novel actually written in English? Very famous piece of literature. I'm sure you'll all know that one, surely. And finally, question 10. You've only got to think of what's been going on in this year. Question number 10. Derived from Greek terms meaning all and people, usage of what 8-letter word increased by more than 57,000% in 2020, according to the OED. So question 10, derived from Greek terms meaning all and people, usage of what 8-letter word increased by more than 57,000% in 2020, according to the OED. Well, that's an interesting fact. Don't get that out very often. Robin being a little bit a Grand Prix boring, surely not. Well, the last one wasn't boring, was it? That guy smashed his car and it blew up. Very interesting. Now that was a tricky round. At least the last 3 were a bit easier than some of the earlier ones, but never mind. So I'll just give you 30 seconds to top your glasses up and have a quick trip to the loo if you need to. In fact, I'll top my glass up while we're about it. And then we'll do some marking. Okay then, everybody. Could you just make sure you got some answers down? Have a guess at those who possibly don't know? Or does everybody know them all? Perhaps they do. We'll see. Art and literature. Here we go then. Published in 1971, well, the year helped a little bit. How to Cheat at Cooking was the first book by which celebrity chef? That was Delia Smith. Delia Smith, well done if you got that. Number 2, Rip Van Winkle. He fell asleep for 20 years, apparently. Number 3, George Orwell, William Thackeray and Rudyard Kipling were all born in India. In fact, I've been to Rudyard Kipling's birthplace. Question number 4. That item called a fountain was in fact a urinal. A urinal. Well done if you can remember the picture of the urinal. Look it up. You'll recognise it when you see it. Number 5. That British newspaper with the biggest circulation, apparently highest circulation print paper in the UK, was the Metro. The Metro. Latham House Lockdown have just put, it's actually St Delia of Norwich. Oh dear. Oh dear, St Delia. Question number 6. That French Impressionist artist who often painted dancers of all types, but mostly ballet dancers, was Edgar Degas. Number 7 was a sperm whale that they were hunting in Moby Dick. Number 8, of course, a Del of a Life, was David Jason, who played Del Boy, of course, in Only Fools and Horses. Number 9, I was after John Bunyan's, of course, novel was The Pilgrim's Progress. And finally, that word that has been increased its usage by 57,000% was the word pandemic. Pandemic. Well done if you worked that out. Oh, see, but Latham, it's actually St Delia of Norwich. Roy's put, she lives in Let's Be Avenue. Let's Be Avenue. That's actually very clever, that, Roy. That's the best joke of the night so far. Jailed in Bedford. Oh dear. Right then, let's have some scores in. So we're all faring. Jed and Trace in very respectable 20, as are Clive and Janet from Stockton on 20. Got Chris and Mary St Ives on a 6. Now, you must have more than that, Chris and Mary. It's a total score I need you to put down. Sarah and the gang from Worcester are on a fantastic 14.5. Got Alex Brown on 17.5. Martin Davis has moved on to 15. The famous 5 have moved on to 17. Well played them. Nick Bowers is now on 17. The Ridgeways have moved on swiftly to 15. We've got Steve Hills and Dexter the dog on. Oh my God, he's just gone off my screen. Sorry. Bother. Where have I got to? Steve Hills and Dexter the dog on 16. We've got the 20s on 16. We've got Michelle Gibbons doing very well on 19. Mick Roberts on a very respectable 18. Fane McSorley on 16 for the Boobies. We got Dom Quizzotti, 19.5 points. That's very good. PRS on 19 points. Chris Peaks on 17 points. Got Penny Graham on 14. Pickamix, who moved on to 16. We've got Graham Gifford on 18. Squeaky Pob have now moved on to 17, as has Andrew Lewis on 17 points. Paula Lewis and the gang. Quizzy Rascals are on 20. Latham House Lockdown on 16. Georgia Lambert for the Yorkies, 15 for the Yorkies. Home Alone 6 are on 17. We got Harry Julie, Ian and his bottle of Shiraz on 18. Joe Pugh and Steve are on 18. We got St Ives on 14 points. That's more like it. Rugby Rotary Club are on 17. And Anderson's on 13. Mike Yates on a very respectable 15 points. We've got Team UK, USA on 19. Andrew's saying 11. Slow and steady, win the race. Now, there's a good proverb. Yeah, I nearly put that one in, actually. Maybe for next week, Andrew. Squeaky Bomb on 17. Split the difference on 16.5. What's that? John Bunyan, born and jailed in Bedford. Well, there we have it. Oh, it's John Bunyan, nothing to do with Delia Smith being jailed. Sorry, that makes sense. Bedford Jail, there's a notorious place, isn't it? Bedford Jail. Right then, round number 3, everybody, is a connections round. We have 9 questions on general knowledge, plus a final question asking for a connection between the previous 9 answers. Have we got the idea? So they're just general knowledge questions. Just get the right answers down. When we get to number 10, I will ask you to try and find a connection between them. Now, you need to look carefully at your answers. I will give you a clue. Look carefully at each of your answers, all right? So you need to look at carefully at your answers. Right, here we go then. Question number 1. The hand is a unit of measurement that is commonly used to measure what dimension of a horse? So question number 1, the hand is a unit of measurement that is commonly used to measure what dimension of a horse? John Bunyan, born and jailed in Bedford. I was going about Bedford, so there is still a jail in Bedford. It does sound like sounds like a rough old place, Bedford Jail, doesn't it? It's got a ring to it, Bedford Jail. What's that place just outside Rugby's Right Hill now? But what was it called before Riot? The Ballstall. I used to play football. I can't remember what it called. Robin's just put South Yorkshire Police have an operations centre in Lettsby Avenue in North East Sheffield. Oh, really? Well done. Riots. Tina has offered a hypothesis for the connection. Well, excellent. Good. Right, then let's see whether she can see how well you do. Then do remember there's a connection between all these answers. Question number 2. What one-word name refers to a baked bar cooked in a flat oven tin and cut into rectangles? Well, not necessarily rectangles. Yes, rectangles. It is normally made from rolled oats, butter, brown sugar, and usually golden syrup. And I used to love, well, we still do love it when we get it. So what one-word name refers to a baked bar cooked in a flat tin and cut into rectangles? It's normally made from rolled oats, butter, brown sugar, and usually golden syrup. Only Borstal, that's what I was thinking of. There's Ryle, Only Borstal. Yes, we used to play football against the inmates of Only Borstal for years going into there. Dear God, it's bad enough getting in. Often they looked at me and wouldn't let me out, but no, that's not fair. I always managed to get out somehow. Question number 3. What substance has been used to treat and or prevent malaria? Yeah. Oh, sorry, I misread that. Question 3 again. What substance that has been used to treat and or prevent malaria gives tonic water its bitter taste? Carol's just saying Auntie Trish makes the best. I can't believe she can make a better one than you, Carol. I thought you were the world's best at making, should we say, cakes and things. Yeah, my wife made a very good one as well, I have to say. She did. Excellent. We'll perhaps have to have a family bake-off and see who can make the best. That's not a bad idea. That's something we could do in lockdown. Family bake-off. Swap food at the doorstep. Question number 4. In the nursery rhyme, Monday's child, Tuesday's child is full of what? So in the nursery rhyme, Monday's child, Tuesday's child is full of what? It was a way of teaching children how to remember the days of the week, apparently. So if you've got little ones, you should be teaching them this nursery rhyme. Question. Now, wait a minute. Has Tina got the connections? Anybody got the connection so far? You've been looking carefully at your answers. Question number 5. In human anatomy, what is the alternative name given to the clavicle? So in human anatomy, what is the alternative name given to the clavicle? Ah, the Giffords have got it. Well played. Is that the Uppertoft? I think that's the Uppertoft team, isn't it? They've got it already. Don't expect the Middletoft team have got it yet. So in human anatomy, what is the alternative name given to the clavicles? One I should know because I've broken yeah, that one at least once, probably twice. Question number 6. This is the most difficult one in the round. Well, I think it was. Who was Prime Minister of the United Kingdom from 1902 to 1905? And when he was Foreign Secretary in 1917, issued a controversial declaration calling for a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine? Ah, Martin's got his hypotheses. Ah, we have. Well, all the Tofties are doing very well. Appears the Tofties are doing better than the rest of the nation. So it must be Cambridge knowledge, of course. Oh, you've got it as well. There are more Nobel Prize winners come from Cambridge than anywhere else. Well, it's Cambridge University, obviously. Question number 7. Who played Thomas Crown in the 1968 film, The Thomas Crown Affair, and a convicted murderer in the 1974 film, Papillon? It's a 2-word answer I'm after. We got it way back. Well done. So question 7 again. Who played Thomas Crown in the 1968 film The Thomas Crown Affair and a convicted murderer in the 1974 film Papillon? Who remembers the bar in rugby that was called Papillon? That's a good one. Goes back a few years, that. Was it a wine bar or a general bar? I can't remember. Yeah, it was a wine bar. There was a wine bar called Papillon in rugby. Question number 8. Which rare metallic element is about 10 times harder than gold, 5 times harder than tool steel, and 4 times harder than titanium? Matthew, we got it in the next round. You should have said we got it in the last round. I worked there. Fantastic. Paula Lewis says you worked there. I thought you were just a youngster. So question number 8 again. Which rare metallic element is about 10 times harder than gold, 5 times harder than tool steel, and 4 times harder than titanium? Just a one-word answer I'm after with that one. Question number 9. This is one I know, Mick Roberts, who gave me this Tales of the Night Sky, and thank you very much for that, Mick. This is one he loves, a subject he loves. He hasn't seen the book I'm giving him for Christmas yet. On a standard Monopoly board, although quite rare now to find in the capital, what is the name of the square that is diagonally opposite Go? Maybe there was 2, she says. Oh, I'm a youngster. Well, I think 2. Yeah, it may have been 2. So question number 9 again. On a standard Monopoly board, although quite rare now to find in the capital, what is the name of the square that is diagonally opposite Go? And of course, the one you've all been waiting for, what is the connection between the previous 9 answers? So what is the connection between the previous 9 answers? So just look at all the answers you've got written down and try and work out the connection. It appears a number of teams have done it, so I'm sure you can all work it out. Well, it's great to see so many teams, as I said tonight on online. And if you're still enjoying the quizzes, I am going to be doing them all the way up till Christmas and after. We've even got one just after Christmas on the 27th. And, is it the 27th? Yeah, I think so. Something like that. We've got to do something while we're locked down, otherwise we'd all go mad. But never mind. Hopefully the weather will pick up a bit, and as I say, we can get out, a bit of walking and get out on the bikes, but we'll see. Right then, have we had enough time? Do we need any more time? Just put down in the chat if you need a little bit more time to work this connection out. I think everybody's just about okay. I don't know. Oh dear. Matthew's just been Back to the Future, obviously. Just got out the DeLorean. Just finished the last round. Got it now. Oh dear. That would be quite useful if you could go back and forward in time, wouldn't it, Matthew? Just think of the mistakes you wouldn't make. The money you could make. No, let's not be like that. Right then, let's go back to the beginning. I don't think anybody's asking for extra time, so we will just go through the answers to the connections round. We started off with a hand. This is a unit of measurement to measure the height of a horse. Number 2, of course, was flapjack. Who doesn't like a good bit of flapjack? Number 3 was quinine. Nobody's really sure. I think it scares the mosquitoes off more than anything else. Question number 4, in the nursery rhyme, Monday's child, Tuesday's child is full of grace. Number 5, in the human anatomy, what is the alternative name given to the clavicle? That's the collarbone. Number 6, of course, was Arthur Balfour. Arthur Balfour. I'll accept just his surname. Number 7 was Steve McQueen, who appeared in that film Papillon and the Thomas Crown Affair. Number 8, the rare metal I was after was tungsten. Number 9, of course, I was after free parking, which is hard to find in the capital these days. That's opposite Go on a standard Monopoly board. And finally, number 10, they all end in ranks of playing cards. So it's something to do with playing cards. 1, 4, 8, Jack, 9, Ace, Queen, 10, and King. So if you look at all the answers, the last part of each of your answers spelt out one of the ranks of a playing card. So well done if you've got the connection. Because it wasn't very straightforward if you weren't looking for it, but never mind. Right, here we go then. We've got Squeaky Pop on a fantastic 27. Martin Davis is now on 25. Clive and Janet from Stockton have gone backwards because they've now gone back to 10. Jill Pugh, a fantastic 28 point. Anthony Ridgway's on 24. The Ridgways are doing well. Chris Bates on 26. Andrew Lewis and Jane are on 24. We've got PRS on a fantastic 28. Michelle and Charlie are doing very well on 29 points. We've got Chris and Mary from St Ives on 24 points, or the famous 5 are on 27. And Anderson, Anne and Dave are on 19. We've got Jed and Tracy on 29. The Giffords have moved on to a fantastic 27. Sarah, Russ, James and Joe are on 21.5. We've got the Rugby Rotary Club now moving up the ranks on 27 points. Yeah, Clive and Janet from Stockton, a quick correction. They meant 30, of course. Well played them. Harry Farnham's on 24. We've got Georgie Lambert on the Yorkies on 18. Home Alone 6 have moved on to 26. Mick Roberts now on 26. We've got Don Quixote on a 28.5 points. Well done them. Is it ace or 1? Well, there was 1 for 1, and there were, I think 1 was in the last one, wasn't it? What was the 1 for? I can't remember. Oh, 1 was in collarbone. That ends in the word 1. And ace was in grace, of course. So 4 questions, 4 and 5 gave you ace and 1. Where have we got to? Sorry. Faye's on 24. The Twinnies are on 24 points. We've got Pick-a-Mix on 26. Good round. Got the early connection. That's excellent. We've got Alex Brown on 25.5. Team UK, USA on 27. Nick Bowers is on 24. Penny Graham's doing very well on 19. Mick Yates is on 22. We've got Latham House Lockdown on 23 points. Paula Lewis moved on to 29. Split the Difference on 25.5. Harry, Julie, Ian and his bottle of Shiraz on 25. Ace is 1. Well, it is. Oh, no, that's true. It should be 2. Well, it's perhaps twice. Sorry about that, Latham House Lockdown. You're quite right, actually. There is no 1, is there? You don't have a number card, do you? Maybe ace and 1 are the same thing. Oh, well, never mind. Yeah, it might have been a mistake. I think the problem was I was trying to find I did ask my wife, actually. I did ask her about could she think of any words that ended with the word TWO, and I actually looked it up. There's nothing in the English dictionary that ends TWO because I was going to have 2. I didn't realise that I doubled upon the 1, but never mind. Well spotted. I was waiting for somebody to come up with that. Right, we've got little Nick up here. He's just joined us in the background. My mascot. Matthew's just said, where's little Nick? There we have it. So, sorry about that one. Where have I got to with the scores? Penny Graham, we've got Paul Lewis on 29. Split the Difference, we've got Pastor Shiraz. Andrew Hedgecock. Good round for us, says Andrew. Well played, Andrew. 19 points. Well, little Nick's just come back. I love Mohead's 1 of spades. All right, Robin. Let's see. Oh dear. Never mind. It's my own silly fault, that one. 1. I could have been talking about tarot cards or something like that. Or some of the cards that start with a 1. Right then, round number 4 is entitled Chain Letters. Now, 10 questions on general knowledge, where the last 1, 2, or 3 letters to the answer are the first 2 or the first 3 of the next answer. Okay, you get the idea. So it's like a trivia trail, but it uses more letters. So here we go. Ace that round. Yes, I'm sure you did. Oh dear, lots of 1 ace. I was watching this afternoon. I just showed my mother-in-law, who's not interested whatsoever. Well, she's interested, but she couldn't get it on the telly. Last week's quiz, when I gave you all sheep by mistake. and that was quite funny. One of base. Yes, there we have it. One of base. Well done, Roy. We'll be asking for our money back, said Stuart. Yeah, you don't get this quality you see if you watch the Chase or Mastermind. They have people double, triple checking their questions all the time. Although some of the Chase questions are a bit dodgy sometimes. There was one they had the other week that I would have complained about. Never mind. Anyway, can't even remember what it was about. Here we go then. 10 general knowledge questions. And they do go all the way through to number 10. And number 10 does go back to number 1, you'll be pleased to know. So it's like a trivia trail, the last letters, remember. So question 1, with a coastline on the Gulf of Mexico, the Yellowhammer and the Heart of Dixie are nicknames for which US state? It's a one-word answer. There are some states with 2 words to help you out a bit. So with the coastline on the Gulf of Mexico, the Yellowhammer and the Heart of Dixie are nicknames for which US state? Now take the last letter, the last 2 or the last 3 of that, and it's the first letter, the first 2 or the first 3 of the next answer. So here we go, question number 2. Another geography question, unfortunately. One Ventura, great film. You're not going to let me forget this, are you? Ace Ventura. All right. Question number 2. 20 degrees south of the equator, well, generally, which island country supplies around 80% of the world's natural vanilla? So question 2 again. 20 degrees south of the equator, which island country supplies around 80% of the world's natural vanilla? Choose this jar full of grown. Oh dear. You don't worry, Clive and Janet. They try and wind me up. You know, you want to see what it's like in the pub sometimes when you get something wrong. Dear God. Question number 3. Which 1964 film even starred Sid James as Mark Antony and Kenneth Williams as Julius Caesar? And it's a 3-word answer I'm after. So which 1964 film starred Sid James as Mark Antony and Kenneth Williams as Julius Caesar? 3-word answer. Sure you'll have all heard of that one. Now do remember, the last letters of your previous answer, last 1, 2 or 3 are the first 1, 2 or 3 of this answer. Right, take the last letters of that film. And it's the first 1, 2 or 3 of this one. Here we go then. Question number 4. First finding fame on the X Factor. Which boy band sang the opening line of the Band Aid 30 version of the song Do They Know It's Christmas? It's a 2-word answer I'm after. So first finding fame on the X Factor. Which boy band sang the opening line of the Band Aid 30 version of the song Do They Know It's Christmas? Do you want me to sing that, Robin? Do they know it's Christmas time? There you go. We were watching the original last night on the big screen. Where do the years go? Stop. I've stopped. Right, question number 5. Remember to take either the last letter, the last 2 or the last 3 of that band's name, and it's the first 1, 2 or 3 letters of this. Question number 5. In 1989, a dark area around the same size as Earth was observed on which planet and was named the Great Dark Spot? So in 1989, a dark area around the same size as Earth was observed on which planet and was named the Great Dark Spot? And just to help you, it's not the one that I normally go on about. The group meant in you. No, it didn't, Martin. You're right. That's why I'm pointing out carefully that this one doesn't start with the letter U. Right then, question number 6. Dead easy this. The Kiwi dollar is a nickname for the currency of which Southern Hemisphere country? Feeling really Christmassy now, Nick? Do you do carols as well? Yes, possibly. I can sing a few. I'll have you know I did the solo, the 90, whatever it was, choir boy of the year, once in Royal David City, the first verse all on my own, singing to the whole bloody school. Dear God. I'll blame Carol's dad for that. Right, question number 7. Leading on from that country, in 2016, who became the first person to win the BBC Sports Personality of the Year award for a 3rd time? It's a 2-word answer I'm after. Two races. Close. So question 7 again. In 2016, who became the first person to win the BBC Sports Personality of the Year award for a 3rd time? It's a 2-word answer. And of course, the person's surname will carry on and give you question number 8. Now, this is a bit trickier. Which author, this is question 8, which author created the detective Philip Marlowe in his 1939 novel, The Big Sleep? So question 8 again, which author created the detective Philip Marlowe in the 1939 novel, The Big Sleep? It's a 2-word answer again. And if you look carefully at your previous answer, it might give you his first name. And that helps a lot, of course. I have to say, this Hook Norton is very nice. 12 days. So how many days we've got left till Christmas now? Oh, yes. We're on the 13th. 12 days. That'll take us up. So 12. This isn't going to last me 12 days. That's the problem. Probably last 2 nights if I'm lucky. Right. Question number 9. Question number 9. This leads on, obviously, from that 2-word name of that author. What was the name of the cow on the children's TV show, The Magic Roundabout? 1-word answer. I'm sure most of us will know that one. Well, most of our age anyway. Sorry, the Yorkies. Perhaps need to bone up a little bit on Magic Roundabout questions. So what was the name of the cow on the children's TV show, The Magic Roundabout? It's a 1-word answer I'm after. And that leads you right on to question number 10. Famed for its sugar cane, or cane sugar even, what is a historical region on the north coast of South America, which is now part of the country of Guyana? Ian Miller's put, what's that? Happy place, Turf Moor, Burnley. Good evening, Nick. Good old Turf Moor. They've been playing football tonight, then have I missed it? Come on, Ian, you better tell me what the score was, if there clearly was something there going on. So question number 10 again, famed for its cane sugar. What is a historical region on the north coast of South America, which is now part of the country of Guyana? It's a 1-word answer. And the last letter, the last 2 or the last 3 letters of that answer will take you back, hopefully, to number 1, all the way back to number 1, you'll be pleased to know. Great to see you, Ian. I know we're into round 4, but never mind, there's always some catching up. You can always catch up. All the answers are there, so you'll be able to quickly get in. You've given yourself 30 points from the last 3 rounds and go from there. Because clearly you would have known them all. Right, that was the end of the chain letters round. Does anybody need to do look at all your answers and make sure that they lead on one to the next to the next? I will just see whether little Nick's battery is still working in the background here. He was singing Jingle Bells last week. Oh yes, he's still singing Jingle Bells. It's funny how he only knows one song, this little Nick, but never mind. I'll have to try and teach him some other songs. Now, is everybody getting into the feeling that we're actually getting some kind of Christmas in this year? I don't know whether you are, whether you got your decorations up, your house lights. I have to say, there's been an explosion of lights this year. There are more houses decked out with lights than I've ever seen before. It's been kind of growing every year, but one or two places have been doing some magnificent jobs with house lights. So congratulations to everybody. And I know I went round to Ian's house, Ian Miller that is, and his house was nicely decked out with Christmas lights. And of course, now they're all LED lighting. We don't have to worry too much about power consumption. What's that? You have to push his jacket buttons to change the tune. I could try that, Martin. I'm not convinced it's going to work. I will try it. Right then, here we go. Oh, yes. Our walkies around Coulston built us such fun. Aha. Right then, everybody, here we go. These are the answers to the previous 10 questions. The state, which is better known as the heart of Dixie, of course, is Alabama. Alabama. That gave you the MA for Madagascar, which supplies the world's natural, or 80% of the world's natural vanilla. That in turn gave you the, I don't know what it gave you actually. It gave you the CAR for Carry On Cleo. Carry On Cleo. Well done if you got that. That gave you the O for that band One Direction, which in turn gave you the N for the planet Neptune with the great dark spot. That in turn gave you the NE for the country of New Zealand. That gave you the AND for Andy Murray, of course, who's won BBC Sports Personality of the Year 3 times. That gave you the RAY for Ray, as in Raymond Chandler. Well done if you got Raymond Chandler, but the big leap, that was a bit trickier. That in turn gave you the ER for Ermintrude, the magic roundabout's cow. That in turn gave you the DE for that sugar, type of sugar, Demerara. And of course, that took you all the way back to A, Alabama. So well done if you got that. Well done if you got that. Oh, what's that? What's Ian put? Who is Christmas Tree's favourite singer? Bruce Springsteen. Oh dear. Who is a Christmas Tree's favourite singer? Bruce Springsteen. Dear God. That's pretty bad, that one, Ian. But never mind. Keep the jokes coming. Squeaky Pob, 37 points. We've got Sarah, Russ, Joe and James on 31.5 points. We've got Clive and Janet from Stockton. Very impressive, 40 points. Chris Speak, 37. They must have been in all day revising because it's been so wet. We got Chris Speak on 27. We got Chris and Mary from St Ives doing remarkably well on 34. Mike Yates on 31. Steve Barnum on 35. We got the 20s on 34. We got Michelle Gibbons and Charlie on a fantastic 39 points. Martin Davis on 35. We've got PRS and moved on to 38 points. The Ridgeways have moved on to 32. And you've just gone off my page. Sorry. The Giffords moved on very well, Jane. And oh, ow, me back. What have I done to me back? Oh, ow. Never mind. Graham and Jane on 36 points. Andrew Lewis on 35. We've got Nick Bowers on 34. Chris Speak has moved on to 37, rather, he says. Home Alone 6 on 35.5. Mick Roberts now on 35. The Rugby Rotary Club still there on 37 points, doing very well. Don Quixote on 38.5 points. Jill Pugh and Steve on 37 points. We've got the Yorkers, they've moved on to a fantastic 25 points. Anne Anderson now moved on to 28.5. Anne and Dave. The Famous Five are also on 37 points. The pair of the Booby Prize girls are on 33 points. Well played them. Team UK USA on a fantastic 37 points as well. Split the difference and moved on to 35.5 points. As has Alex Brown on 35.5 points. We've got Harry Julian and his Bottler Shiraz on 35. Latham House Lockdown has now moved on to 32. Jed and Tracy on fantastic 39 points. As is Paula Lewis. The Quizzy Rascals on 39 points. Pick a Mix on 35. Dark brown sugars are rare, but light brown sugars, Demerara. Demerara. Oh, Demerara. Oh, God. That is the worst joke of the night, Alex. That's definitely worth half a point. That is. Dark brown sugars are rare, but light brown sugars, Demerara. Penny Grandstone, she's only on 26. Never mind, Penny. Just taking part that counts. And every week you will always learn a new fact which you didn't know from the week before. I'm always learning things. Well, I think I'm not sure whether they're all right, of course. Knock, knock. Who's there? Wendy, Wendy. Wendy who? Wendy, red, red robin comes. Bob, Bob, bobbing along. Dear God. Chris Pink, my Christmas tree, was arrested for indecent exposure. He would not stop flashing. That's a good one, Chris. Andrew, well done, Andrew. I'm 25 points. That's a fantastic score. And Alex, nice. I'm on 36 now. Some great going there, he says knowingly. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Get back up to let me go back up to the top chat, but never mind. I'm down to the bottom chat. How much chat can you show on the page at any time? Obviously not enough. Right then, everybody. Round number 5 beckons. Is it round number 5? Oh, yes, geography round. You'll all like this one. Round number 5. Straightforward geography round. 10 stupid questions about geography. And I'm sure if, like me, who managed to fail my geography O-level at school, it wasn't the only one I failed, but never mind. I'm not very proud of that because I was actually quite good at geography after going to sea for a few years. Do feel free, by the way, if you haven't pressed the little thumbs up button, do give Nick a thumbs up tonight. It helps my rankings go up in the rankings, and it means you can find me on Google and all sorts of places like that if you wish. But never mind, do give me the thumbs up if you like the quiz. Of course, if you hate the quiz, do give me the thumbs down, but I'm sure you won't. Right, and here we go. Geography, round number 1. The M48 motorway connects which other motorway at both ends? That's quite interesting, that. So the M48 motorway connects which other motorway at both ends? So it must go like that or like that. God knows. Question number 2. Damn it. The screen's just gone dark. Why is that happening? It shouldn't be. I'm plugged in. Oh, shit. What is wrong here? Oh no. All right. Nearly a technical failure there. My screen dims when my battery power goes, but of course I'm plugged into the mains, but unfortunately the plug was not plugged in securely enough. Never mind. It doesn't work if you don't plug the plug in, does it? Right then, question number 2 is a multiple choice question, which I know a lot of people hate, but never mind. According to the Office of National Statistics, woodlands occupy what percentage of the overall land area in the United Kingdom? I will give you the choice. Is it 1%, 6%, or 13%? So there we go, straightforward question. According to the Office for National Statistics, woodlands, in the plural, occupy what percentage of the overall land area of the United Kingdom? I'll give you the choice. Is it 1%, 6%, or 13%? Cheers, Matthew, if you're drinking the same beer as me. Question number 3. The Westbury or Bratton White Horse is a hill figure on an escarpment and is a tourist attraction that can be found in which English county? Cheers, Matt. Yeah, it's very nice. Hope you're enjoying it. So the Westbury or Bratton White Horse is a hill figure on an escarpment and is a tourist attraction that can be found in which English county? If it helps, I've cycled past it one time or another. There we have it. I've cycled virtually every county there is. Obviously, besides all those world counties. No, cycles through the others. Question number 4. This is an interesting question. With a total of 19 countries, which continent boasts the most members of the Commonwealth? Well, I don't really boast it, but it seemed an appropriate word at the time. So question 4 again, with a total of 19 countries, Which continent boasts the most members of the Commonwealth? Is any help? It's not Antarctica. Question number 5, it appears I'm boosting the OED statistics here. Prior to the dreaded COVID-19 pandemic, what was the busiest airport in Europe, having served over 80 million passengers in 2019? So question 5 again, prior to the dreaded COVID-19 pandemic, what was the busiest airport in Europe, having served over 80 million passengers in 2019? Let me try and nick the what's it, see whether we can get a different tune by pressing a different button. Oh, well. No, it clearly doesn't change tunes, but never mind. Question number 6, listen carefully if you can with all that row going on in the background. What is the name of the Marquis of Bar's stately home in Wiltshire? I never did think it was going to change it, Martin, really. So what is the name of the Marquis of Bar's stately home in Wiltshire? Very famous place. You'll all know that one, I'm sure. Most of you may have been there at one time or another. Just another quick thank you for everybody that did take part in last week's charity event. We did raise in excess of, well, it was about £1,850 for the hospices, and we've had a very nice letter. Well, Andrew's had a nice letter, which he's passed on to me because it got my name on it as well. But I'd like to thank everybody that donated in any way, shape or form, even taking part in the quiz, whatever else. It was a fantastic result, and yeah, I ought to thank everybody. So the letter was aimed at everybody that helped raise a fantastic amount of money. Question number 7, listen carefully. Located around 5.5 miles east of Naples, what is the name of the only volcano on mainland Europe to have erupted in the last 100 years? I don't quite know what they mean by erupted. It depends what constitutes an eruption, really, doesn't it? I've been past a few that glow a bit. So question 7 again, located around 5.5 miles east of Naples, what is the name of the only volcano on mainland Europe to have erupted in the last 100 years? Probably a good reason for not living in Naples, really, isn't it, I suppose? Question number 8, dead easy one. What word can precede the words Gulf, desert, and nights to give 3 new 2-word phrases? So question 8 again, what word can precede the words Gulf, desert, and nights to give 3 new 2-word phrases? Well, it's kind of loosely geographical, isn't it, I suppose? It's got a desert in there. Question number 9. Well, I'm sure you'll all have seen over the last year at least, and that's 2 years, what colour are the 12 stars that can be found on the flag of the European Union? So question 9 again, what colour are the 12 stars that can be found on the flag of the European Union? I don't know quite the latest. Though I've watched the news a bit, I think Boris is trying to stretch out as long as he can the negotiations with the European Union, whether we're going to get anywhere or not. Whether we're going to stockpile tomato soup at the end of the month, I don't know. We'll see. Or fresh vegetables, you know. And finally, question 10 in this round. What does the abbreviation CG stand for on an Ordnance Survey map? So question 10, what does the abbreviation CG stand for on an Ordnance Survey map? You've all seen the Ordnance Survey maps, but what does a CG stand for? Obviously a two-word answer. Well, it seems that the stream's been steady tonight because the numbers haven't been rocketing up and down all the time. We're quite steady at 79 viewers tonight. It's been very good turnout. It's great to see so many people enjoying the quiz. Do feel free to tell your friends if you want to get anybody else either in your own team or just set their own team up and take part. You're more than welcome. More the merrier, as far as I'm concerned. And do feel free if you want to just hit my subscribe button at the bottom of the screen. You will get announcements whenever there is another quiz coming up, which does happen twice a week, so you probably don't need to do it anyway. But do feel free to subscribe, because the more subscribers I get, the better. It's like a thumbs up, you know, so what the hell. Right then, everybody, have we had... Enjoying is a very interesting description. Well, I'm enjoying beer. I can't remember what the word... Sorry, Robin. Right then, are we ready to do some marking after the round 5, the geography round? See how we're all doing. See whether one of the teams still got a full score, because one of the teams have got 40 out of 40 after the previous round. Right, here we go then. Tricky one to start us off. I think you can put your pens down if you haven't got answers in, or try and get your answers down now. If you're ready to do some marking, here we go. The M48 connects with which other motorway at both ends? Well, it's the second Severn Bridge. It connects with the M4 at both ends. You said we were enjoying the quiz. Nice one, Robin. Sorry. It's a bit difficult when things come up 2 minutes after or a minute after I've said something. According to the Office for National Statistics, woodlands occupy 13% of the United Kingdom. So not gone yet. The Westbury or Bratton White Horse you would find in Wiltshire. Well done if you got that. Number 4 with a total of 19 countries. Which continent boasts the most members of the Commonwealth? That's Africa. Well done if you got that. Africa. No points if you can mention them all, but it was a long list, I have to say. Question number 5. Prior to the dreaded COVID pandemic, of course, it was Heathrow. That is the busiest airport in Europe, although it is being caught up quite fast by Charles de Gaulle, of all places, which I hate as an airport, in France. It was very close in second place. Question number 6, what's the name of the Marquis of Bar's stately home? That's Longleat, of course. Number 7 was Mount Vesuvius. Number 8, the word that can receive the words Gulf Desert Nights, of course, is Arabian. Arabian Gulf, Arabian Desert, Arabian Nights. Number 9, the colour of the 12 stars. I will allow, well, it's yellow basically, but I will allow gold. So if you put gold or yellow, I will allow both. Technically, it's yellow on blue. And finally, question number 10, the abbreviation CG stands for cattle grid. A cattle grid. Well, none of you got that. Not many of them around. Well, there are actually. We seem to go over plenty on our bike, but never mind. Especially Creekway, there's loads around the back roads there. You always tell when you're in the middle of nowhere. Right then, everybody, let's have some scores in. Say you've all done. What about Coast Guard? Yeah, that would have been a good one. Right, Sarah, Russ, James and Joe are fantastic. 39.5 points. Well played, you. Jed and Trace, 48. We've got Chris and Mary from St Ives on 41 points. Matthew Blood and PRS on 46. Michelle, Charlie, and the other one, I can't remember, 47, sorry. Martin Davis on 42. Graham and Jane Giffen on 44. We've got the Ridgeways moving on 42. Andrew and Jane Lewis on 41. We've got Home Alone 6 now moved on to 44.5 points. Georgia Lambert and the Yorkies, Rory, have moved on to 33 points. Squeaky Barber now moved on to 46 points. That's some going. Con Janet from Stockton on 49 points. Well played them. Where are we? Well, Faye's on on 38 points. We've got Steve Hills and Dexter on 42 points. Dexter's probably gone to bed now. Jill Pugh's on 45. That's a great score from Steve and Jill. The 20s are on 43. We've got Nick Bowers on 42. Penny Graham's moved on to 33 points. We've got Anne and Dave from Sunny Essex on 37.5 points. Famous Five on 45 points. We've got Pick a Mix on 44. The Rugby Rotary Clubber is still there or thereabouts, sneaking along at a fantastic 46 points. Latham House Lockdown on 38 points. Got Big Roberts also on 44 points. Donkers OT have moved up into a fantastic 47.5 points, and Split the Difference on 44.5 points. We've got Mike Yates on 40. Team UK, USA on 45 points. So there's some cracking scores out there. Well, I have to say, going into the last round, we got one team, I think, on 49 points. That's some going, isn't it? We've also got Jed and Tracy on 48. PRS are on 46. Michelle's on 47. Anybody else? 46 for Squeaky Pub. Clive and Janet from Stockton doing remarkably well tonight. Must be doing all that revising they've been doing all week. 49 points. Fantastic. So they go into the last round leading tonight, along with... who else is on 49? Sorry, I'm going up and down here. Oh, yes, Paula Lewis and the Quizzy Rascals, they're on 49 as well. So we've got some great scores going on here tonight. Into the last round. Last round tonight is general trivia, 10 general knowledge questions. There's nothing to catch you out here, I don't think. No silly how long was the 100-Year War or... Anyway, none of that business. Straightforward general knowledge questions. So question number 1, I will give half a point for 4 and a full point for all 5. So listen carefully. According to the International Organization of Vine and Wine, name the top 5 wine-producing countries in the world for the year 2019. So according to the International Organization of Vine and Wine, name the top 5 wine-producing countries in the world for the year 2019. I will give you half a point if you can get the top 4, and you can get a full point if you can get all 5. Now, there's plenty of winos out there, I know. So what do you actually drink? I know there's many bottles of Shiraz drunk on this, whatever. So, somebody else put Coast Guard. Well done, Ian. Never mind. Yeah, a couple of good attempts at Coast Guard. But CG is definitely marked as a cattle grid. Anyway, that's by the by. So then, Ian, come on. How are you doing with your wine regions? I'll give you a little minute to think about that. So after the top 5 wine producers for the year 2019. With any help, England does not fare in the top 5. And we never thought it would, did we, really? Right then, question number 2. Right up Martin Davis's street, this one. What type of fuel currently accounts for roughly 40% of the UK's total annual electricity production? Left a word out there. So what type of fuel currently accounts for roughly 40% of the UK's total annual electricity production? Right, we're keeping up. Have we had any more silly jokes? No more Ace jokes? Oh no, Ace Ventura jokes. I'm sporting my, this is my Cambridge Beer Festival beer glass that I've had for a few years now. But it doesn't say what year it is. Does it say on there? Can't see it. The wife says it says 2005, and I can't see it. Maybe it's the dark beer inside it. I can't see it. Let's hope that next year we can get to a few beer festivals and nothing else. Right, question number 3, listen carefully. Created in 1946, which wartime general was created first Viscount of Alamein of Hindhead in County of Surrey? 1934. So created in 1946, which wartime general was created first Viscount of Alamein of Hindhead in the County of Surrey? You can give me his full name if you like, you know, if you want to show off, but don't need to. Still can't see a number on this glass, but never mind. Got to be one somewhere. Oh, it's down there, yes. It's just the 32nd Cambridge Beer Festival 2005. Where are we now? 2020. That's 15 years ago, so that would have been 15 and 32, 47th. That would have been the 47th, but of course there wasn't one this year, was there? And why? Right then, question number 4. What symbol represents the number 13 in the hexadecimal numbering system? Nice straightforward one there for anybody that knows computers or is a mathematician. So what symbol represents the number 13 in the hexadecimal numbering system? Easy one to get wrong, that one. Especially if you have no idea what hexadecimal is, but never mind. Now, next week I shall be sporting my, I've got a suit next week, so I might be sporting a suit and tie, along with my silly hat, which I've got ready for next week. Just got to get the snowman a bit more erect. He needs another week. For some reason he is drooping somewhat, if you know what I mean. And you don't want a droopy snowman, do you? The wife's just saying it's too much beer. I can't believe that for a second. Right, question number 5. Listen carefully. Commonly known by its initials, Melody Maker magazine merged with which long-standing rival and sister publication in the year 2000? So question 5 again. Commonly known by its initials, Melody Maker magazine merged with which long-standing rival and sister publication in the year 2000? I think they've stopped all publishing now and it's all online, unfortunately, but there we have it. Question number 6 is all to do with the Asia, I suppose. Oroguru, which was practiced in Japan for hundreds of years, involved blackening what part of the body? It didn't just happen in Japan, but it was known in Japan as Oroguru. So Oroguru, which practiced in Japan for hundreds of years, and it involved blackening what part of the body? Helps if you've been to Vietnam, I have to say. Or Japan, of course. Right, we've just got how many questions? 4 questions left. Come on, let's see who can get more right or not, as the case may be. Question number 7, launched in 1997. Complete the following advertising slogan. There are things money can't buy. For everything else, there's... So question 7 again, launched in 1997. Complete the following advertising slogan. There are things money can't buy. For everything else, there's... The funny thing is that advertising slogan is still used today occasionally by the same company. It was so good, which is amazing. Question number 8 takes us back to power generation. I love this one. For Martin Davis, this one, spot on. Also the name of a shipping forecast area. That kind of gives it away. What will be the name of the world's largest wind farm when completed? It will have a combined output in excess of 3.6 gigawatts. So question 8 again, also the name of a shipping forecast area. What will be the name of the world's largest wind farm when it's completed? It will have a combined output in excess of 3.6 gigawatts. That will make it the UK's largest power station. Question number 9 is one of those stupid questions. Who is an American fashion designer, head of his own fashion label? I don't know why I put head in there. Fashion designer. Yeah, let's get rid of the first. Sorry, let me read that again. We need to get rid of the first head, I think. Who is an American fashion designer and head of his own fashion label? His latest series of TV adverts show 3 young ladies extolling the perfume Daisy. I know Daisy will know that one. So who is an American fashion designer and head of his own fashion label? His latest series of TV adverts show 3 young ladies extolling the perfume Daisy. It's an awful advert, I have to say, but never mind. Obviously it appeals to some people. Ian likes that one. Oh dear. I'm sure young Mrs. Joe will know that one, I'm sure. And finally, question number 10. This is an interesting one. Which athlete still holds the United Kingdom 1-mile record of 3 minutes, 46 seconds and 32 whatever, 100ths, which was set back on the 27th of July 1984 at the Bislett Games in Oslo? So question 10 again, which athlete still holds the United Kingdom 1-mile record, which was set back on the 27th of July 1985 at the Bislett Games in Oslo? There we have it, that's tonight's quiz. Now that was a tricky one, that last one, because Mo Farah's taken most of the records, but of course they don't run the mile. Well, they don't run it anymore, do they? Towards the 1500 metres and whatever else. Well, thanks everybody for taking part tonight. I hope you enjoyed the quiz, or not enjoyed the quiz, whatever the case may be. Do remember, if you have enjoyed the quiz and you haven't given me a thumbs up, do give me a thumbs up. The more thumbs up, the better, as I've always said. And do feel free to subscribe to the YouTube channel. It will give you advance notice of any quizzes or anything else I do on my quiz page, so to speak. Cheers, Nicholas, says Nick. Thanks, Nick. Let me just go back and go through the answers then to the last round and see how you fared. The wine question wasn't particularly easy, I have to say. Do remember, if you can get 4 of the 5, you will get half a point. And for a full point, I need all 5. And in no particular order. We have, according to the International Organization, the top 5 wine producers for 2019 were Italy, France, Spain, the USA, and Argentina. So I don't know if you got those. Italy, France, Spain, the USA, and Argentina. Yes, you're right, Graham. YouTube will only let us give you 1 thumbs up per session. You're quite right. You can't, even if I like it myself, I can only give myself 1. Question number 2, the type of fuel currently accounting for roughly 40% of the UK's total annual electricity production is gas, of course, natural gas. Number 3, the wartime general that created first Viscount of Alamein was Bernard Montgomery. Number 4, the symbol represented by the number 13 in hexadecimal numbering system is the letter D. Number 5, commonly known by its initials, Melody Maker merged with NME, or the New Musical Express. Initials will do, NME. Oraguru was the practice of blackening the teeth, and made all your teeth black. We saw it done in Vietnam, which was quite interesting. Launched in 1997, complete following advertising slogan, there are things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Number 8, I was after Dogger Bank. Dogger Bank will become the world's largest wind farm when it is completed. It's a joint operation with Ørsted and SSE. Number 9, who is the American fashion designer? I was after Marc Jacobs. Marc Jacobs, extolling the virtues of his perfume called Daisy. Daisy, Daisy, Daisy. It's a dreadful advert if you've ever seen it. And finally, number 10, that athlete that still holds the 1 mile record in the United Kingdom is Steve Cram. So well done if you got 3 minutes, 46 seconds. Steve Cram, well done if you got that, because that was a tricky one. Right then, let's see how they've all fared on that last round. I'm not convinced anybody can get a full 10 on that, but maybe they did. We'll see. There were some tricky questions in there. So we have Chris and Mary from St Ives on a fantastic 45 points. Well played, you. The Ridgeways ended up on 61 points. Well played. That. Oh, wait a minute, Anthony. He's cheating there. The Georgians ended up on 36.5. Sarah, Russ, Joe and James are on fantastic 45.5. Well played, you. Nick Bowers on 49. Well played, you. Faze ended up on 43.25. Well played, them. Thanks, Nick. Mick Roberts ended up on 50. That's a great score, Mick. Beefing the Giffords on 49.5 point. Did they beat the Pews in Toft? Let's have a look. So Upper Toft on 49.5 point. Andrew Lewis and Jane on 45. Well played them. Leslie Barrett 14. I'm not sure what the hell's 14. I don't know what you've done there, Leslie, but never mind. PRSN 54 points. Well played them. The Ridgeways did actually end up on 48. Well played. The Famous Five, a very good score, 53.5. Anybody in the 50s is doing really well tonight. Penny Graham on 39. Paula Lewis on 58 points. Well played them. Alex Brown's on 49.5. Steve Farnham, 48 points. Martin Harris, grim 46, but at least we got the energy good. Well, you should do. Jen and Tracy on 54.5 points. The Rugby Rotary Club also on 54 points. Well played them. The only AJB, the 20s on 51 points. Latham House Lockdown, 44 points. Well played. Squeaky Bob on 53.5 points. Got Clive and Janet from Stockton. They ended up on 56 points. Well played them. We have Don Quizzotti on 55. Pigamix on 51 points. Michelle ended up on 53.5. Ian, Harry, Julian, and his bottle of showers ended up on 49.5. Anne Anderson on 46. Anne and Dave, well played them. Lisa Lasky, they were happy with a 53.5. Carol Jackson, Home Alone 6 on a fantastic 51 points. And Andrew ends up for the night. Well done, Andrew, on 35 points. Not easy tonight. Chris Meaden split the difference on 52.5 points. Well, congratulations to all those teams tonight that managed to get into the 50s. It wasn't easy. There were 1 or 2 testing questions there. 1 or 2 that I hope you'll take away and remember, because you know, sometimes you might know that you might be sat there doing the chase one night, and a question might come up. You say, I saw that Nick's quiz, you know. So, well done, everybody, and thank you all for taking part tonight. I think the winner out and out tonight in the end was the Quizzy Rascals on 48 points. So, Paula Lewis, well done, Paula. Fantastic 58 points. We had a number, but I reckon anybody tonight that's ended up in the 50s has done remarkably well. So, thanks, everybody, all of you taking part tonight. Oh, and yeah, Paula, do text me and let me know about picking your prize up, which I've got stuffed in my back room here, because obviously it's waiting for you to munch through and drink, because there's a few drinks in there. As I said before, if you don't come and pick it up, I might replace them with some lesser quality items. No, I would never do that. Anyway, good night to all. Hopefully some of you might like to come and see us on Wednesday night when we're doing the quiz again. So Wednesday, same time, 8 for 8:15. Again, 60 questions to, well, maybe 63 on Wednesday night. I don't know. Wednesday's longer than the rest of the week, but keep you going the rest of the week. So thanks, everybody, for taking part. Hopefully we will see you all again If not Wednesday, let's hope we will see you next Sunday. So good night all, and take care this week, and have a good week if you can at all. Let's see what happens with Brexit, and let's see what happens with the virus, and whether we can all get ourselves inoculated or vaccinated. Well, vaccinated, not inoculated, different thing. Anyway, good night all. Thank you very much, and we'll see you another day. Well,